Hello, my friends. Amy with Campbell Creations, and today I am using Dollar Bead Box August 2025, and we're gonna make some bracelets. I'm so excited. I have many bracelets that I am ready to make that I can make with this box using very limited, just a few items from my stash, and we're gonna get right into it. Today, what I'm using first for the first bracelet, what I'm using is I'm using these beautiful little cubes that came in the box. These actually are little lavender dusted cubes. They're 4mm. I love these guys. And as soon as I saw these, I immediately was like, oh, I want to use these. So we're going to use a couple of the leaves from the box. We're going to use these 4mm check glass cubes. I have some of the 3mm little amber colored beads, some of the 4mm that has that bronze lining in there. And then we're going to get a couple of those items out from the metallic mix. So from my stash, I am pulling in this beautiful shell. I love this focal shell. I think it goes beautifully with the colors, and I'm going to incorporate this with those leaves. And then I'm bringing in just some little drucks that I have. And these drucks I think go perfectly. It's just like the perfect color with this. Like, yes, yes, please, thank you. So I brought in some drucks. And then other than that, the only other things I'm going to be bringing in from my stash, essentially for most all of these bracelets we're going to be doing today, is just like some bead caps. I have some 4mm bead caps. I have some of these little crystals, these little bicones. I get these from Hobby Lobby, and they come like this. You see, I like using them. So the bronze ones here, we have some of those out here, and then some of these that are more that teal color, I used all of those there. But I have some different oval jump rings. I think I'm gonna get some other jump rings out, and then I have some clamshell connectors, and I'm ready to get going. On this. I'm excited. So for this bracelet, I am pulling in today Soft Flex, and this is Soft Flex Satin Silver color in fine. I have these cut to about 6.5, 7 inches long. I have two of them. It's going to be a double strand to a single strand. Okay, and for the single strand portion of it, what I've pulled in is I have some bronze wire. So this is 24 gauge bronze wire. This is cut to about 6 inches. And then I have just a little bitty piece here of the 20 gauge of that same bronze wire. And I have just a couple inches of this. It's going to be used for a dangle, just a dangle. So let's get started. I'm so happy to be back. I've been in New Orleans this week, and I've had all of these ideas all week, and I've just been sitting on them while I'm in New Orleans working. So I'm super happy to be home. Super happy. So anyways, happy Friday. All right, so let's come in here with this. What I'm wanting to do with this guy is he's going to be pulling in this focal piece. And so all I'm going to be doing for this is I have my round nose pliers. I'm going to come right about to the center of this. I'm going to pop those up, both sides of those up. And when I pop those up, I'm going to let them cross. And when they cross, I'm going to pull them over and push them down. And they're going to go all the way down. Okay, so now we have a little double right there. Okay, and you see what that looks like there. And then from here, I'm just going to, again, kind of push it over, pull it over. Okay, just a little bit because I want them to cross. Okay, so I'm going to have them cross right here, just like that. I'm going to straighten this out. And I don't know, I guess maybe I do want to cross them, maybe twist them a little bit. So let's see, because I'm wanting this to go through the center of that focal flower. And so I'm going to hold on to it. Let's give just a little twist. That way it's just kind of incorporated well. Little twist. I'm going to bring them kind of together here, because what we're going to be doing with this is I'm going to be pushing this together here, and we are just going to go through the front of this flower. But now that I'm looking at this flower, let's bring a little bead cap action in there. Let's put a little bead cap, a little something something in the center of that. So I'm going to go ahead and put both of these pieces of wire, both ends of the wire, through that bead cap, if it'll hold or if it'll take it. If not, I'll get a bigger bead cap maybe. Let's see, little guy. Yeah, it'll go. It'll go. Bring him all the way up. That works. Then let's bring this in through the center of our little focal flower. Let's just pull him down through there. I'll just pull him back. And you see how there's a little kink right there? We'll just smash him down a little bit, just so that he goes through there. Push those in together a little bit more. Oh, there you go. See how he goes through there? Because I'm just going to hang a dangle from him. I just want a little bit of a dangle that's going to hang from that. That's all. And then in the back here, I'm just going to flatten this out. Okay, so we have that little bit up here. We're going to incorporate a little dangle with that, and then we're just going to bring this flat. Now when this comes flat, I want to put something on the back of this, okay, because we are going to bring in our leaves, but we're not going to bring the leaves till the end right here. So let's pull in a few of these. Have a few of these little 3-4 millimeters that came in the box. And from here, let's just pop like 3 of these on. Let's see how far that takes us. Yeah. Yeah. So with those on there, yeah, we could pull that in. So I put it just on this one side so far. You see about where we are, about the edge here. Let's go ahead from here. I still have a couple of those left, and I can use one of these for the other side. Let's pull one of these in. So if I pull one of these little bicones in, there we go. You see how you can just kind of see that bicone? That's kind of what I'm looking for. And then let's pop on one of our leaves. Because I thought it would look so cute with this leaf just kind of popping out the side, right? He's just popping out the side there a little bit. And then from here, I'm just going to make a wrapped loop. That's all we're going to be doing. And this is going to be connecting to what we're going to be doing here for our double strand bracelet. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to have a little wrapped loop. So I'm going to bring this back, up and around. Let's grab a hold of him. I'm just going to wrap him around a few times. And you see here, here's the back of it. Just wrap him around a few times. I may end up going back over it, right? So I wrapped him around a few times. You see how small he is? He's all the way to that leaf. I'm just going to go back over it. Make it just a little chunkier maybe. Yeah, that's cute. Okay, so we'll trim him off and we'll knock out that other side. Then we can talk about our strands. So I couldn't determine which bracelets I wanted to make. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to get them all pretty much ready. And then we'll see what time allows for. So I'm going to try to be super efficient here so that I can get as many of those bracelets done as possible. Yep, I really like them. So on this side, let's add those other 3. So let's come in here with these 3. Have a little jasper hair there, sorry. Okay, and so this is going about the same. See here? I'm going to pop in one of those bronze bicones. That way it just brings me a little bit closer to the edge, but not all the way, right? Because you see even here, I'm not seeing all of the leaf. And that's just cute, if you ask me. That's cute. Okay, so I'm going to pop this other leaf on this other side. Yeah. Cute, cute. I'm going to do another wrapped loop. Just hold on to it good. And go around and go down to that leaf and then kind of just back up, make it a little bit thicker. There, we're down to the leaf now. So I'm just going to come back up through, do a second pass. Just a little chunkier there. There we go. That way it looks a little more significant. I could not believe how much my little squirt, my little baby squirrel had grown while I was gone in New Orleans. I could not believe it. My youngest son, Jacob, who's 21, he kept Squirt for me while I was gone, and he was so sweet. He knew that I was, worried about him, and so he kept me completely in the loop. Every single time he fed him, he told me if he went to the bathroom, how many syringe vials he ended up, taking, how he was doing. Just huge peace of mind. The kid gave me huge peace of mind while I was gone. And then I come back and his eyes are still closed, but he just gotten so big. I'll definitely bring him in. I'll bring him in at the end of this so that you guys can see him. Just wait till you see him. He looks like a little squirrel now. I mean, he is a little squirrel, but he looks like one now. Okay, with this, I'm just going to add a little nub down here at the bottom. So I'm going to give a little turn here, make a little hook there at the end, and then I'm going to trim part of that off because I don't want all of that there. Oh, he keeps turning on me. Trim part of that off because I'm going to close him in on himself. So from here, and I'm sure you guys have seen this a bunch of times with me because I really like doing this, I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to close him up. He's going to want to turn, so as you see there, he wanted to turn. Just readjust and go slow. There we go. There he goes. So it's just a little nub down there. I don't want much on here, right? I'm just looking for a little something something to hang down on here. And so what I'll probably do is just incorporate a couple of these guys. So I'll do one of these green-blue color. Oh, maybe, will it fit on there? Maybe I'll be doing something else. Nope, they won't fit on there. Okay, so let's come in here. Let's do one of these guys. Let's see if one of these will fit on there. Yeah, one of those will fit on there. Okay, so let's do one of these at the bottom. And then I'll pop on one of those. Just a little something something. Yeah, just a little dangle on there. Not too much. Not too much going on. And I don't want a big wrap on here, right? So I'm going to make this bend really thin. Just do a little wrapped loop. So today I get my order from beadboxbargains.com. So I'll have a haul order that I'll be opening today that I'll be unboxing, and then tomorrow my box comes. Yay! I can't wait. I'm super excited. I don't know, just super excited. But it's going to be a busy weekend because I have so many ideas. I had so much on my mind this week and I had to just sit on it. So you know what? On this, I wanted to connect it, and I did not because I was talking. So let's come in here. We'll have to jump ring that connection unless I just redo it. Looky here. I could do that. Yeah, let me do that. And then I'm going to pop him on there. Let's do that. Actually, I'll set you aside in case I need you. Let's go ahead, and we're going to be popping this off anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's flush cut. Just take a little piece of that hook off. Then we're going to close him in on himself. Boy, I started right out with having to redo something, huh? That's all right. That's all right. Okay, so then I'll come back in here again. I'll grab one of these guys and one of these guys. And we'll pop those on for our little dangle. Very little wrapped loop. But from this point, I need to open this guy, not with these. Okay, let me make sure he's a little straight. And then I'm going to open him a little bit. Let's pop him right on. Close him up. And just give a couple little wraps. Hold on, Amy. Yeah, just a couple there. And we have a little dangle on him. I like it. Trim him off. Then we'll just squeeze him, make sure we don't have any sharp spots. Woohoo. He wants to turn. I think he's actually okay now. Yeah, he looks pretty good. So here we go. And here is our single strand focal portion. And it's actually not going to be our focal. I think what I'm going to do with that is I think I'm going to have this connect here for our closure. That way it doesn't matter if it spins this way or that way. It's going to be taken care of. It's going to be good. So let's talk about these two strands. This is going to be pretty simple. Not a whole lot going on, but I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun, and that's what I'm looking for. So on the first strand, I'm wanting this guy to be a focal. And I think with him, I'm going to bead cap him. So let's go ahead and bring a couple bead caps down here. These are my little 4mm bead caps. And then one sec here. Jasper's really good for thinking, hey, mom's recording, so that's the time I'm going to be as ornery as I can be. Nah, it just so happens. He looks up at me though, and I said, no, you need to go lay down, I'm recording. And he looks up at me like, really? Come on. Oh, all right. So this is going to be our focal. I'm going to pull some of these triangles, and I really love this mixture that they give us. And these little triangles are just so much fun. I think they're just a blast. And so let's go ahead and put one of these on each side of him. Easy peasy like that. And then I will bead bug one side, and we'll work from one side of this strand. So from here, what I'm looking at is I'm going to have this point side going down. And I really like double bead capping in between this. I had done that with the necklace, remember? And I just thought that was so cool looking. Now every time I use them, I want a double bead cap in between them because you see what happens here. Isn't that just so cool the way that goes? I just like it a whole bunch. And so then I think let's do one of these little guys here. And then let's do a series of 3 of these. Do I want to bead cap them? Let's do this. Let's bead cap the center one. So I'm going to put one of these little cubes on, and then I'll do a bead cap going away for the center cube. One going to it. Then we'll add in that third. Yeah, I like that. I like that, I like that. So then from here, we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. So let's bring in one of these triangles with the point faced down, and then we'll double bead cap that. I love all the colors that came in this box. I love them. All of them are my colors. They are my vibe. And so I definitely wanted a bunch of bracelets. So I'm really glad that I started out with that necklace because I think I'm using all the contents of the rest of the box for bracelets. I love them. Okay, I'm going to bead cap this center guy. Then we'll talk about our length and see where we are with that. But I don't think I want to go any longer than that for this strand, right? So here's what we're looking at for one of the strands. Super cute. Super, super cute. So then in the other one, I don't want them to be like super matchy-matchy, but I want them to go together, you know? And so I want to incorporate these guys though. These are super fun. Definitely want to incorporate them. And actually, let's go ahead and start with that in the middle. Okay, so let's pop one of these on in the middle. And I think I want to pull in because in the little divot in this guy, I think these little bicones are perfect in that little divot there. So I'm going to put one of those bicones on either side. And they'll just kind of snuggle into it. Yeah, see how that just snuggles right in? Works out perfect. Perfect. Then let's bring a couple of these in. And I do want to bead cap them. So let's come in here. That way they'll offset this center guy here. Okay, we'll do the same to the other side. So then what we're looking at here is this, and it doesn't matter to me if this guy flips or not. He can do whatever he wants to do. Yeah, I like that. That'll be good for those two strands to kind of offset for each other. Then let's go right into our cubes. I think I'll do it the same way. So here I'll do one of our little cubes, and then I'll bead cap one in the center for our series of 3. Okay, so we'll bead cap him. One more guy here. Yeah, that's cute. Let's come in here on the other side. And we'll do our little cube. We'll bead cap the center guy. We'll add one more here. Super cute. I like that offset. I really like that offset. Let's go ahead and bring in a couple more of these guys. Yeah, let's do. I've had these Drucks for some time. I loved the speckling on them. If you look here at these guys, see that little speckling that goes through them? Super cute. Super cute. And I thought of these as soon as I was opening this box. I'm like, I have Drucks that go with that. I have Drucks that go with it. Pop one on this other side. Let's bring these guys in. Let's do these guys right here. So we'll do another one of our little bicones. And then we'll check the length of both of these guys and see what we want to do from there. One thing I haven't done, actually I haven't really done for any of these bracelets, well, except for maybe one, is determined what I want the closure to be. I probably need to figure that out, right? Yeah, let's see how long these guys are together. Ooh, I like the look of them here. Okay, so this guy's going to need a little bit more. And what's our length at? We're just over 3. How long is this? This guy's about 2 1/4. Okay. So we'd be, if I go to this length, about 5 1/4, that gives us about another inch for the closure. So that works out about right. So I don't want to go much longer than this. Maybe a hair longer, if that. But up here, let's see. Let's go ahead and pull in another couple of these guys. Let's go in here with this one. And also on this side. And then let's just add a cube on each side and see what we're looking at there as far as the differential. And if anything, we can add one of those cute bicodes at the end. That would work too. That's super cute. Okay. So how's our length looking here? Yeah, we're about even now. Yeah, we're about even. Okay, that works for me. That works for me. Now let's think on what we want to do with this closure. How do we want to close this off? So, actually what I could do is I could just do a lobster claw clasp and then put a ring on this side. I could do that. That wouldn't take up too much length. Yeah, let's see. Let me get out a lobster claw clasp here. Now, I don't know. I'm looking for more of an oversized one. I have something like copper. Let's see. Let's get out a couple things. Let's get out a couple, because as many bracelets as I'm wanting to make, we might need a couple. Get out a couple. Ooh, I like the size of that one, you see? Let's see what I have in my bigger lobster claw clasps. Oh, look at this one. I have this one. That one would work. Oh, I have this one too. That would work. That would go better, I think. Super cute. Okay. So let's then bring in a little bit of a bigger jump ring. Come on. Let's get a couple of those out. Yeah, I like those. Okay, so let's go ahead and close this up. Unless, do I want to add something else? Do I want to add a little bicone to the end of that? Do I? I think we'd be doing okay on our length, actually, because with this going on, because we still had an inch to play with. Yeah, we still have an inch to play with. So what I could do is I could pop on another little bicone at the end, because I'm liking that thought of bicone at the end of this one, just to kind of slim that down, you know, and not come right off of the cube. And then we could just do, oh, we could do one of these more like teal blue ones at the end of this one. And then we'd still keep the same length as far as symmetry, being the same length for both of them. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Yep. I bring this in. Yeah, those look good together. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Now, do I want to use this guy? Or do I want to use this guy? I think he goes better, so we'll set him aside, most likely use him for another. Okay, let's close this off. We'll connect to this, and then we will finish out bracelet number 1. Okay, so I may as well get out a bunch of these just to cover our bases. Okay, so now again, let's check on our length as far as overall. So if this was to be connected here, what we're looking at is right at 6. How about that? And then our connections will be just fine. We'll be just fine. We'll be right on. So I don't want to overdo the jump ring situation, right? So let's come in here and let's get this guy open. I think what I'll do though is I do think I want to jump ring each of these. Let's see, there's only 2. Let's see. That's not too bad. It's not too bad if I jump ring and then connect, because there's still plenty of room, there'll be plenty of movement, and then we'll still be okay on our length. Yeah, so there we are for that one side. Super cute, right? Love that. Love that. So then on this side, let's get these guys put together here. And I'll go ahead and jump ring them together. If there was 3, I definitely wouldn't. Oh, look at that gap. Was he sideways in there? Sure was. I see him. then I will jump ring this to our lobster claw clasp. And then I'll put the extra ring over here on the other side. Let's make sure we're on the same side here. There we go. Let's try that again. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pop on one of these. Grab a hold of that. Then we'll connect that lobster. You see how this one goes through the lobster, right? There's not an extra loop on it. So I wanted to make sure that it had its own jump ring. Make sure he's good and closed. And then he will connect over here to a large jump ring. I like that bronzy connected with the gold. Really like that. Easy peasy bracelet number one. Let's take a peek here. Oh, that's gonna be perfect. See where that connection would be? Yeah, look at that. So cute, right? So cute. And this on the underneath. So fun. Love that. Yeah. And then we'll move on to bracelet number two. Question is, which one do we do next? You just wait, you're gonna see. I love them all. I love them all. I definitely want to hit up the teal because we're going heavy teal today. Let me get these extras picked up here. This goes over here. Yeah, but just in case, I'm going to keep these guys out in case I want to use them for something. And of course our bicones, just in case. So let me grab, pick up our extras. Bye guys. And then let's go on to the next bracelet. Okay, which one to do? Which one to do? Got it. One sec. So I want my drops. Yes, my drops. Okay, so I have some of these cut out for I have some of these cut for all of our I think this one's going to be a triple strand, so we'll get 3 out. Okay. And then what I'm using for this is Soft Flex medium, and this is dark blue lapis color. And I think I'm using that for the rest of these. So this one's going to be a triple strand, and I'm pulling in these beauties. Love them. They look like sea glass. Okay, we're going to pull in those. We're definitely going to pull in the drops. Okay, and then I got out some of the melon beads. So we're going to use the melons, and then we're going to use these 4mm ones that have that metallic to it. Love that, and it pops that lighter color, you know, almost like that that peridot green kind of yellow color with the gold. Like it a lot. Okay, so looks like for this, the only thing that I'm going to be pulling in that is from my stash is some of these little bicones. That's it, and some of these bead caps and my closures. So I know for sure one of the strands is just going to be pretty much these guys and these guys in between, and I want to bead cap them. So let's grab one of these, and this is all of them that came in the box. I'm going to use all of them. And this is going to be a fun triple strand. So let's do a bead cap on each side of our little ovals here. And then in the middle, just popping on one of these guys. Then going right back in. So the strand will be easy peasy. put this on. I love how universal this box is. This box and bag every single month is so universal. And if there's any of these items that you don't use during the month, they are just, again, so universal. You know, I put it in my stash and I can use these 3 and 4 millimeters for anything. And because there's such a variety that they give us, I can pop them in so many different designs. So many different designs. So this Dollar Bead Box, for so many reasons, is one of my favorites. Absolutely one of my favorites. I love it. Love it. And then they had to go hit me with these colors this month. Oh, one of my favorites. This month is one of my favorites. I love this. See how cute that is? See how it just gives that pop in there? Like, very simple, right? It's just these two, but so cool. Okay, so we'll pop him on. We'll bead cap him. Then I do want, I believe, one of these on each of those ends. And strand number 1 is complete. Isn't that so cool? Love it. Love it, love it. Look how bent up he is. This poor little guy. Let's see what this length is. So we are looking at about 4 3/4. About 4 3/4 here. So I think I want this guy here to be our center focal strand, and then we're going to have those 2 supporting strands coming off of each side. And I know I want those drops to be incorporated, so with the first strand, I'm going to pull those drops in the center. Okay, and I think I want these to be in between. So my favorite is 3 in a row. So I'm going to do 3 of these drops. And then I'm going to do a bicone. And then another 3 drops. I actually have a whole bunch more of these little brio drop beads coming today in this order. Super excited about that. Super excited. And I think for length, I think I want to go a series of 3 of those in the center here. So 3 groups of 3. 1, 2, 3. And we'll save this guy for the other strand. Okay, move this over to the side. So we have these. And so these are going to be sitting right in the middle, right up against that. So cute. Love them. And I think what I'm wanting to do is, I think I'm just going to be pulling in these same guys here. Yeah, let's just do that. I want a series of 3 of these on each side. I love all the colors that these pop out. I mean, look at all of the colors. So good. So let's do 3 of these. Okay, so here, this guy's our center, right? And so if you see here, these 3 aren't even going up against the other ones. They're staying there in the center. I like that. Not necessarily done on purpose, but hey, I'm going to take it. Let's pull in one of these and bead cap them, and then I'll do another group of 3. So let's come here with these. And I love that these didn't have any kind of wash on them. You know, I loved that they were just a statement all their own. Go ahead and pop these other 3 on because I know I want them there. So over here. We'll bead cap that melon bead. Then we'll do another 3. Let's look at our length. Let's do some more melon beads on the end. I have plenty of them. So let's do that. Let's do, yeah. Would that be too much? I don't think so. I don't think so, but I don't think I want to bead cap all of them. I think I'm going to do like what I did with these and bead cap the center one. So let's come in with one of these, and then we'll look at that length, and then we will bead cap the center guy. And pop a third on. So pop one of these on. Bead cap the center one. I'll do a third. Okay, so this one again was, well, we're about 4, yeah, about 4 3/4, almost just shy of 4 3/4. So then this one we are at 4 1/2, 4 1/2. So actually I was afraid I'd go a little bit over, but no. Let's just add a little bicone to the end of each side, and let's see what we're looking at then. I don't think there's enough room to add like another one of these on each side. I think that would overdo it. So let's see. So now here we are. 4 3/4. So on the other side, I'm essentially just wanting to offset that, I think, you know. Look at this little thing. I don't think he's going to work. I don't think so. Okay, so for our third strand, let's start off in the center then. Since we have these guys going on in the center of this side strand, let's offset that. Yeah, we'll offset that. And I could bead bug these guys, or I could just set them off to the side. Set them off to the side. All right, let's actually bring this guy right in the very center because we only have one of him. So let's bead cap him. So we'll bead cap him. Then let's go ahead and do the series of 3 each side. And then let's bring in our drops. So let's do a series of 3 drops. 1, 2, and let's do 2 series on each side. So 3, and then we'll put another one of these little bronze bicones in there, and then another 3. We'll do the same thing on this side. Because yeah, see how that'll offset? Oh, that'll offset like perfectly. Yeah. Yep, let's do that. So sometimes what I'm thinking isn't always what it ends up being. In this case though, so far, it definitely is. I have like 3, besides all of these bracelets, I have like 3 full designs that I have in my head from this week, from being gone this week. So it should be a busy weekend. Busy weekend. Okay, so from these guys here, let's just come in. Let's put 3 of these on each side. That way we'll just have that full offset. And we'll just make this easy. And then let's come back in with those. Let's do that. Instead of doing a series of 3 like we did with the center, yeah, we'll just do 2 and then we'll space them out. Yep, I have just enough. So then let's see, do I want a bicone in between those? We'll check the length. I don't think so. Let's go ahead and bead bug him though, because he's not going to be as easy as he was grabbing up these drops. That would look cool. I have 2 left, so let's do that. Okay, so the last 3 drops. And I think this leaves me like 3 or 6 of our drop brios left. Okay, let's check this length and see where we are. To see if we're too long. Actually, it looks like we're pretty good. Okay. Seriously. Just shy of 4 3/4. Okay. I think we're good then. Let's see how they look together. Oh, how cute. Look at that. That is super cute. Those are going to look adorable together. Okay. Yeah. Super cute. Cute little offset with them. I like. Okay, and let's do a toggle with this one. Let me get a toggle clasp. Oh, cute. Yeah, let's do this. How cute is that? We'll do that toggle. That brings out the brightness. You see that? So cute. Okay, so then let's close these off. Okay, so let's put these together. So cute. Love this one. I love this one. I love this one. Okay, so let's get these guys together. And what I could do, actually it might look cute that way. I could use these big ones, because if I do a big one down here and a big one down here, then I can connect these. Let's do that. Let's do that. Cute. That's third. We can go ahead, since it's big enough, go ahead and pop that on. Okay. Come on. Second and third. Pop him on. And we have bracelet number 2 done. Oh, so cute. Oh, so cute. Look at that. with all of those drops. This is going to be perfect too. And with that separating, nope, that'll be good. That'll be good. Oh, how cute is that? Okay, we have number two. Number two. Oh. Okay, so which one next? Oh, isn't that so cute? Look at that pop on the color. Love that. Love it. So now let's bring in, let's go with, let's bring in this guy. I'm really excited about this one. So I brought in these. I'm not using the ones from the box because I broke one. Yeah, I broke one. It had, the coating that was in here. And so I was being silly. And even though I say whenever I'm doing this, always twist and don't push, I pushed and I broke it. So I brought these in and I thought they would go really well. I think with these little bronze lined guys, this goes in really well. I think that's super cute, super cute. This is going to be a very simple double strand bracelet. And these are all items that are from the box. And let's bring in our soft flex. It's the same soft flex. So I'm using medium and dark blue lapis color. So for this first strand, focal strand, I do want to bring in some bead caps. So we'll bring in some of these little bead caps, and I want this guy to be front and center. And I know I want a bead cap on both sides of him. So let's get him bead capped. I love the lines that go through all of these. I just think it's adorable. Okay, so we're going to bring him in, and I do think I want to bring in some of our little bicones for this. So we're going to bring in some bicones, and I'm wanting to do, I think I want to do one of these bicones. He is not wanting to comply. That's strange. Okay, let's do a little snip on the end of this. And then let's see if we have better luck. Yep, better luck. Okay, so one of the bicones, and then let's pull in a bronze lined with one of these little 3mm. And these were the 3mm that had that wash over them. See that wash coating that's over them? So cute. And then I'm going to do another one of these. And then let's go ahead and do this. Let's bead bug this side. Because I think from here, I'm wanting to pull in one of these. So let's go ahead and bead cap it. Then maybe let's just do that same series on this side. Super simple, right? So we'll do with a little bicone. Then we'll do one of the bronze lined 4mm, followed by one of these little 3mm, and a bronze lined 4mm, and then a bronze bicone, right? So it's one of those things, right? Just super simple, but tell me that is not just gorgeous. I love that. Okay, let's swap that bead bug. Maybe. There it goes. Okay, so we're just going to be doing the same thing. So I'm going to do a, let me trim this just in case. I must have been in a big hurry when I was cutting those. So we'll do one of our little bronze bicones. And then we'll do one bronze lined, one of these little teal, and then bronze lined crystal clear. I love those bronze lined crystal clear ones. Super. Then we'll come right in with one of these. So we'll bead cap that. And these bead caps that I'm using, I got from Amazon. I'll link them below. They come with this kind of KC gold. It says rose gold on there, but it really reminds me more of a KC gold, kind of an 18 karat gold color of gold. And then it comes with bright gold and silver. Okay, so let's check this out and see what our sizing is. So on this one, again, this double strand is going to be very simple, but oh, statement worthy. I mean, look at that. It's beautiful, beautiful. So this is coming in at 4.5 inches. Okay, so let's set that aside. Let's come to our next strand. And then with this next strand, what I'm wanting, and actually let's bring this back down, I'll talk to you about it first. I'm wanting these guys to nestle in about in that section. See there? I'm wanting them to come into play like this. That way it's that offset. So in the center then, what I'm going to do is let's do a little bit of opposite of that. Let's do one of these 3 millimeters with one of these guys in the middle. Okay, and then I do think I'll want one of our little bronze on both sides here. Okay, so let's see our length there. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And then I'll want to bead cap these guys. So let's go ahead and bring those in on each side. And let's take a peek here. Yep, that looks pretty good to me. That'll do. That'll definitely do. Okay, so then let's do kind of the same series on the two sides. So then if we come in here with one of our little bicones, and then we bring in a 3 millimeter with the 4 millimeter in the middle. Yep, that leaves us one left for the other side. And then one of these. So we do a bronze bicone, 3 millimeter, 4 millimeter, and a 3. And then we can bring these guys in. So if this is here, you see these guys are going to be coming in down here. And so it'll be that offset. Yep, yep. Yep, I like it. I like it. So I need a bronze on this side still. And then I'll bead cap this oval. Then we'll see if we need to add anything to the end there. So we'll bead cap him. Yeah, let's add a bronze to the end of this one. And then I think we will match. Okay, so let's check that length. They look proper next to each other. Let's check the actual Let's check the actual stuff. Right at 4.5. 4.5. That is nice. I like that. And even though we have the bronze, I'm almost thinking copper for the closure. I don't know. I'm thinking copper for the closure. And I don't know if I want one of these. Yeah, tell me that doesn't look so good, right? Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, I'm going to speed this along. Let's go ahead and close these up. I'll close these up and then I'll be right back. Okay, I think because this one's a total right now of 5, I think I want a little something something more, because if not, I think it's going to be a little too short and I don't want to just add a jump ring, you know? So here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to do a little bitty wrapped loop, a double wrapped loop. I'm going to connect these to a little single strand that will go to our closure. Okay, that's what I think I'm going to do here. So let's come in here with our round nose, and it isn't going to be too much of anything, right? Just a little something. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and do wrapped loop. So let's do this one side. And I do want the loop itself to be pretty small. Okay, let's wrap this around just a couple times. And I might just do like this series or something, you know, just something small, but a little something, because if not, I think it's going to be a little too small. Kind of like this tail. Okay. See if I can just close him in on there. Okay. Clip him off. I made him a little bendy. So clip him off here. Make sure there's no pokies happening. There we go. Okay, and how do I have, oh, do I not have any of, oh, I have one. I have one. So let's do it this way. Let's bring in 2 of these. Okay, so we'll bring in one of these and him in the middle. Just a little something. Give us a little bit more length without having to just simply add a jump ring, you know. That's cute. Okay, so we'll come in here and do just a little wrap loop on the other side. I'll go ahead and close it off. Okay. Trim him up. And cinch him down easily because we have a little check glass bead there. Okay, just a little something to connect that with. I will like that. I'll like that. Now I do want to have a smaller round one, okay, for this. So one sec here. Oh, forgot he likes to break off there. It's about time for some more of these. They have definitely done well for me though. Definitely done well. So let's connect these 2 strands together. Okay, so we'll pop him on and him on this guy. Closed really nicely. And then we'll go ahead and close off this side. So put him through and him through. And then I believe on this side we'll go ahead and we'll connect. And I do want to go with copper. That bronzy that's in here almost just has that copper vibe feeling to me, and I think it looks cool. See there how it kind of pulls in the darks that's throughout here? I like that. I like that. And so then on this side, let's go ahead and add just a bigger jump ring for our connection. So we're going to go with that copper that is closing in on gold. Now, let me see where I'm at on my length for this, and we may make this a smaller one. So cute. Oh, that'll be perfect. It'll be perfect. It'll be perfect. Okay. Okay. That works out nicely. So let's close him up. And we have bracelet number 3. Yay. Okay. So let's go into bracelet number 4. And I think I'm deciding that my favorite one out of all of these, I'm going to do last. Okay. I'll do that one last. So let's come in here with bracelet number 4. And I'm wanting to pull in the other 2 of our leaves. We're bringing in some of these little crescents. We're bringing in those little turbines and some more of our metallic mix. And this is going to be fun. Fun, fun. So let's get some wire. And I think I'm going to cut some. So let's go ahead and cut the Soft Flex Fine in satin silver color. We'll cut 2 of these, right about 6-7 inches, I'd say. And we'll make this one a double strand. Okay. So for this one, I am wanting, for one of the strands, I want this to be a focal. I want these guys probably to be like this. Yeah, and I'm going to put one of these guys in the middle. So let's start with this one, and I do want to bead cap him. Okay, so let's bring these out here. Then let's separate these because I do have the bronze lined, and then I have the 3mm that's just that kind of amber color that we're going to be pulling in. So let's bead cap this little center turbine. So we'll bead cap him. And then I think I'm just going to put this right on. I don't think I want anything else spacing it out. We'll see. Yeah, doesn't that look just cool? Really, really like that. I love these little leaves. I love that. These are like the black with the black wash that goes over them. Super cool, right? Okay, so on each side, I'm thinking let's do one of these 3mm with a bronze lined. We'll do that on each side here. then from here, I believe I wanted to pull in a couple of these, right? Cute, cute. So from here, let's bring in some of these. That way I'm not doubling up on these because they'll need something to nestle in, but I think I need some distance. So let's bring in this, and I'll do one of those little amber colored 3mm in between because I think I want to do 2 of these. Yeah, that's cute. Okay, so then we'll do the same thing on this side. I'll bring in one of those, this guy here, and one of these in between. Yeah, so these may pop up, they may stay down. Either way, see, they look cute both ways. Both ways. Actually, I kind of like it like that. That's cute. Okay, so now let's hang tight on this strand. Let's go to the next one. Then we'll see how they line up. Okay, so I know on this other strand I'm wanting to stay thinner through here. Okay, so I think for it, what I'm gonna do is, let's come in here. Let's do one of our 3mm with our 4mm bronze lined. I'll probably want that to be a little bit longer. So let's bring this in here. Yeah, that takes care of the thickest part of it. Okay, and then let's do a series of these. Yeah, we'll do a series of these, and I do think, do I want them all bead capped? Let's look. Let's see. Actually, I may do what I did with those squares. I may do what I was doing up there and just start it out and then bead cap that center one. I'm telling you, once I had done that, I'm just kind of stuck with it. I love the look of that. I love the look of that. It gives that extra pop without being overwhelming. So let's see. Then we'll just do a third. Yeah, I like that. Now, let's take a peek here at this. So if this was the center, yeah, see how it comes through there? That's cool. That'll do. That'll do. And then maybe let's just do a series that's kind of like this on this side, but using these. Let's do that. So if I do one of these guys, these, okay, now let's swap that bead bug. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so we're going to do our series of 3. So we'll start that bead cap business. We'll bead cap fully that center one. I really do like that look a lot. And we'll do that final. Then we'll come back in here with these, and I'm wanting to start out with this lighter color. This guy, him again, and this guy again. Okay. Let's see how they mesh. Yeah, that looks really cool. That looks cool. So here's what I was thinking from this point. I wanted to pull these in, but I wanted to do something just a little bit different. Just a little bit different. I'm gonna need a couple more of these, I think. I was kind of back and forth on whether I wanted to do it or not, but I'm thinking now that I'm looking at it that yeah, I do. I do think I want to do that. So let me bead bug this side together. Okay, so those guys are together. And then here's what I'm thinking, because is this length the same? Let's see if this comes down, this goes up. I thought it was the same. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay, I thought so, but I wanted to check myself. Okay, from here, I think I wanted to do like this here and this here with one of these in the middle, right? But that would look cool bead capped. So hold on. That just hit me. Let's bead cap both of these. Okay. And then from this point, if I grab these and I come in and I just pop these through. Okay. Yeah, that'll be cool. So you see how that bead cap is seen there? That's cool. So then let's come in on the in-between, okay, and let's do one of these. Let's see if that bead cap looks okay on him. That'll be okay, because it's also kind of lining. It's also kind of lining that, so it looks like it's the bead cap on both sides. Oh, that'll be cute. Okay. Glad I decided to do that, because that is cool. Okay, so let's pop another one of these on. And then another bead cap. So then what I would want to do is I'm going to bring these guys together again. And let's pop this other side on. Right? That is super cute. That is super cute. Looky there. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that. So I would definitely want to put a bead cap on the other side too, but I don't know where I want to go from there. If I want to, I don't know. So let's just do the other side and then let's peek at it. But I'm really happy that that happened. Make sure he's in there good. Okay, so let's go down here on the other side. Okay, and it does look like, because I was back and forth, so I need another one of these. Okay, got one right there. That leaves 2 of these left in the box. Okay, 2 of them. So let's do that bead cap facing away so that it cups this. Okay, then we'll come in here. We'll pop one side in. Pop the other side in. That's gonna be cool. That's gonna be cool. Okay. So let's get the underneath of this and the underneath of that. Oh, come on, little guy. There he goes. Okay, and then we'll want to pop one of these on. So then I'll come in here. Pop that guy. And that guy. Maybe I should have gotten a longer piece of soft flex for this. And then we're going to need some more bead caps. So come down on him. Oop, oop. Okay, and then we'll just come through with the other side. So then from here, let's pop that side in and pop this side in. There he goes. So cute. I'm really liking that. Then let's bead cap the end here. And I do think we're going to need something down there. We're going to need something down there. I think it would be only fitting for it to be that blue color, right? And we have plenty of them, so that wouldn't be too shabby. And then let's check our length. Okay, so if I came in here on this end and we went ahead and popped another one of these on, each side. Yeah, then we do the same thing on this other side. So hold on. We definitely need to be cautious on this one. Okay, so we'll swap that over. And we'll bring in another couple of these. Pop him on and pop another one on. Okay, so let's see what our length is looking like here. So we're at just shy, or just over 4.5, actually. We're right at 4.5, right at 4.5. Okay, so I'm liking this a lot. I say, we have room. I'm almost wanting to do, I don't know. Yeah, we do have more. This is literally the last of the barrel. This is all I have. So we have 4 of these. So I could come in, just to give us a little more length, right? I come in and add another one of those, and then another one of the teal blue at the end, just to kind of have a series all on its own down here. That'd be cute. That way this part isn't the very, tip end of it. Okay, so let's grab another one of these. I like. Okay, that's what I'm going to do on this other side too. Okay, I'm going to be fumbling with this because you see we're almost out of space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pop these other 2 on this other side here, and then I'm going to go ahead and close this up. Okay, I'm going to get my clamshells out and I'm going to close these guys up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so here is the final, and this is just so cool. Look at this. Isn't that so cool? And so what I think I'm going to do from here, and just know also whenever I was cinching these up, it makes them a little bit more difficult whenever you're cinching them up and doing them this way, to try to keep, movement, and also get them clasped down so that there's no room, there's no like open space. But we got her done. We got her done. And this is super cool. Super cool. And the next bracelet is my favorite. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So I think these big jump rings, I think these will be enough size to bring these 2 together here. So I think that's what I'm going to do there. So let's pop that on. So from here, I'll come in here, capture him from the side, capture him from the inside. Yeah, comes along nice. I like that. I like that. I like that. Let's go ahead and just put our toggle right on. I think we'll be just fine to do that. And if not, if I find that we're not, I'll add another jump ring. Okay. Yeah, that brings them together nicely. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, so let's do this other side. This other side, come in here from the side that it's going at, right? So here it wants to come this way, and this guy wants to come that way. We'll pop the other side of our toggle on and close her up. Make sure we're good here. Oh, this is cool. You see how that is there on the side? And actually, this is a little snug. I'm gonna need another jump ring. I am. So I'm gonna put a jump ring. Ooh, luckily so. Look what I did. Oh, I tell you, Amy. Got all excited. Okay, let's pop one of these on. I'll close that up again. That should give us plenty of room. I think it would have fit, it just would have been a little bit snug. So now let's open our oval and pop our toggle onto the oval jump ring. Okay. Good. Okay, so then on this side we'll do the same. So we'll get him opened up. We'll pop that toggle off there. We will add one of our ovals. Let's close him up good. Want to be funky. Okay, and then we'll open up that oval. We'll pop our toggle onto it. There we go. Now let's check that. Oh, this is such a cool looking bracelet. Yep, we are good now. Toggle just perfectly. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, I like it. So bracelet number 4 is done. So cool looking, right? Ah! Okay, so now my favorite. Okay, let's move some of this stuff to the side. Let's make room for the favorite one. Okay, so with this one, it is going to be a triple strand, okay? And so I have 2 strands here of my Soft Flex satin silver color and fine, and then the third one I've already made. Okay, so let's come in here with it. And the third strand, I went ahead and, if not all the way, at least most of the way put together it. Okay, so the third one is going to be some of our little 3mm. And then I brought in some of the kind of opalite looking seed beads. And then I have rose gold crimp tubes. Okay, I have 2 different colors of rose gold crimp tubes. I have these darker ones and then lighter ones. I pulled in the darker ones. Okay, here's some clamshell connectors here. And I decided to pull in something from my stash. So I've had these for a while and been waiting to use them. I've been waiting to use these guys. And then I have these also that match, and I thought it just went absolutely perfect. And that allows me the ability to use this in another project. Okay, now you can use this here. Okay, and then you can do your closure a little different than I'm going to do my closure. Okay, you can still use yours, but I've been waiting to use those and I just really wanted to, so I did. So I did. Okay, so I pulled these in from my stash. Okay, and so we have that. And then I am using some of the 3 and 4 millimeter guys here that came in the box, in the bag. And then I'm pulling in my dark colored 4 millimeter rose gold dotted spacers, and then some more of my number 1 rose gold crimp tubes that I'm using as spacers. Okay, so I'm using those as spacers. And then I have my seed beads, and these seed beads I got from Fire Mountain. These are the glossy white with AB. And that's what I'm using here. So all I've done is on one of the strands, I used the 3 millimeter ones, and then I just did white, rose gold, white, 3 millimeter, white, rose gold, white. Okay, so that's that strand. So one of these I want to use as a button closure. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. And so now, focal strand. Here's what I'm looking for. In this focal strand, I'm going to have this guy, of course, in the center. So I'm going to put him on in the center. And I think what I'm wanting to do with it, let's bring these down a little more because I'm going to be utilizing these a lot. So yeah, let's bring you down too. I'm going to be using you guys. So we need to be close. We need to be close. Okay, so I think on each side of this, I'm wanting one of my little crimp tubes or spacers and a daisy spacer. Okay, so that way it kind of snuggles into that little divot and then it has that spacer. Okay, so I'm going to do that on the same side. So I'm going to come in here and do a little crimp tube and a daisy spacer. Okay, and then from here, I'm coming in with, I want to offset these kind of. So I'm wanting to do one of the 4 millimeters. And then I'm doing one of our crimp tube spacers, a 3 millimeter, a crimp tube spacer, and a 4 millimeter. And I just love that. Look at that pop. Is that not amazing? And I think really this white helps make these pop. And with that kind of, you know, AB coating that's on it, it reminds me just of the glistening that's on these, right? You see that glistening that's on that. These are more matte, but that glistening that's on that, the white's going to pull that out of there. Or so I'm thinking. So from here, I'm wanting to come in with one of our white. Okay, so I'm going to do a white. And then I'm going to do a daisy spacer, a crimp tube, daisy spacer, crimp tube, daisy spacer, and then white. So we have that series of 3 with the little crimp in the middle. And isn't that cool? I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, and then I'm just going to do one more series of this here. So then I'm going to come in with my 4 millimeter and a crimp tube. Woohoo, just one. 3 millimeter crimp tube and a 4 millimeter. And I think I'm just going to end this off with a white. Okay, this is super simple, but the punch this packs in design, I mean, I think is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So we're going to do the same thing on this other side. Then we'll come in here with the white, and then we're going to do daisy spacer, crimp tube, woohoo, daisy spacer, crimp tube, daisy spacer, and then a white to end that off. Then we'll just come right back in here with a 4mm, a spacer, 3mm, spacer, and a 4. And then I'm just going to end that with a little pop of white. Absolutely adorable, right? And then look at this with this. So cute. So cute. Okay, so our other strand. Let me bring this up here. And on our other strand, I'm wanting to offset it. So first, okay, let me bring this back down. I'm wanting it to be thin in the middle, okay, because this is bulky, thin in the middle, and then bring it a little more bulky on the sides. So to do that, I'm going to do our little series here. So I'm going to do a 4mm with a little crimp, a 3, a crimp, and a 4. I'm going to do white on each side. Okay, so white here, white here. And if I remember right, because of course we're going to be incorporating these, I think, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do our daisy spacer series before I bring these in. Okay, so I already have my white that's on here. So now I'm going to bring in daisy spacer with crimp, and then end that out with a white. And that's when I will pull this guy in. Okay, so now if we look at that, see how that pulls in there? So this is going to be center, that 3mm. Super cute, super cute. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Let me go ahead and bead bug this. Okay, so from here we're doing daisy spacer. And we'll pop him on. Now, what I'm going to do on the other side is just simply another series. One of these and one of these probably. Okay, and then I think that's going to, I think that'll be a good offset. Let me verify. Okay, so if that's in the center, so yeah, that'll be a good offset because these won't be running in the same. Okay, yep, let's do it that way. So if I come in here, so I will do a 4 spacer, 3, and a 4, and white. And then I'll come in here and go with our daisy spacer. So daisy, crimp, daisy, crimp, daisy. And then we'll end it out with a white. Love that. Okay, so we'll swap here on our bead bug. Then from here, we'll come in with that white. Then we'll go with our 4. Three. 4. And then our white. Then our little daisy spacer combo. Then we'll verify that length. blend it with a white. And now, oops, let's look at these all together. Let's make sure of our sizing. And this guy. That is so cute, right? So cute. Okay, so let's measure these because I'm thinking this may be a little bit longer. Just by a hair it is, yeah. Just by a hair. So let's measure them. This one here is just one of these 3 millimeters over 3 3/4. Okay, and what's this one? This one is, yeah, this one's definitely shorter. So this isn't, this is just under 3 3/4. And then this one is under 3 3/4. So let's do those differentials. So what I'm looking for here would probably be, let me get a couple of our little beads. Okay. Did I grab like all 4s and a couple 3s, or just 1 3? Let's see if we can get some more in that mix. Barely, but okay. All right, so let's pull this again. And you know what I could do? Let me take off one of these at the end, because with that button closure, I want to make sure I've got plenty of room, plenty of space. So let's see. Let's remeasure now and see what this one would be at. This is, okay, right between 1/2 and 3/4. Okay, this one is just a little bit more. Okay, I could take the white seed bead off the end of that one and it would work. Okay, and then this one is the same as this one. Okay, so if I take the white off of this one and we just end with the daisy spacer on this, let's see then where we're at. Okay. Yep, that works. That works. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and close these off, and then I'll be right back, and then we'll finish it all out. Okay, so what I have done here is I went ahead and cinched these off, and I went ahead and added a little jump ring to the end of each of these. Now, what I had not planned on doing without you, but I did without you, is the seed bead closure that will be for our button that we're going to make. I went ahead and did this because this video is ran a little bit longer than I anticipated it being. So what's important here is when you're doing this, this loop, you want to make sure that this will go through it, but snugly, but not too snugly, right? You don't want to constantly have force on this, but you want to make sure it goes through, and you don't want it to have too much room. If it has too much room, then it could come out. All right, and then I went ahead and got a couple different sizes of our jump rings just to decide what we needed. So I'm pulling in some 24 gauge rose gold wire, and we're going to make a button out of this guy. And all we're going to do to make that button, let me move these to the side here, is I'm going to come through this bead, and I'm going to find what feels like about center. Okay, so I'm going to look here, and this is, I I think 6 inches long. Yeah, 6 inches. So I'm going to come here. This looks about center. So I'm going to pop this one all the way over flat. Pop this one all the way over flat. That way I know that that bend is right on the bead. Okay. And then I can pull this up a little bit so that we can do our twist. Okay. So now I'll come out a little bit and I'm going to grab these, either crisscross here. I'm going to find where about my center is here, center of that bead, and I'm going to be twisting this. And I'm going to twist the bead some, and I'm going to twist my fingers and my hand some, because I want it to be tight back there. I want it to be nice and tight. And I want to go a little ways because I'm going to make a wrapped loop on this to make our button. So I'll just twist it. I'll probably twist a little more than what I'm needing, just to make sure that I have it big enough to make that loop and to make sure that it's secure. So I'll probably come up to where this is a good couple inches. I'll go with just a little bit more. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. We're about 1.5 inches. That's probably enough, but I still have some tail, so let's go. And we'll just trim off what we don't need. That is plenty, plenty. Of course I can do a wrap loop with that. So let me trim this off. And then I'll come in here with round nose pliers. Let's come up just a tad, see there. And let's go ahead and do a wrapped loop. Up and over and around. Okay. Then we'll just wrap this around. Just make sure he's nice and secure. 3 should do the trick. That's what we're looking at. So I'm going to trim this off now. And once I trim this off, I want to make sure that this is cinched really well. I don't want scratches. Okay. Then we have this as a button. Not too shabby, yeah. Okay, so from here, I think I'm going to take one of these. I'm going to connect our 3 to a bigger one, and we'll connect that to our button. So let's come in here. And I may end up adding another jump ring, we'll see. Because we don't want that, to kink up, right? We want some movement in that button. Okay, and we'll do our focal one next. And then our third one. And, I am thinking, let's go ahead. I'm going to add another jump ring to that so that our button has plenty of movement. Okay, so I just added a jump ring to that. I'm going to get this closed off real well. I'm going to grab that jump ring I just added, and we'll connect our button to it. That way we have plenty, plenty, plenty of movement. Now I want to measure this because, oh, isn't that just so cute? Oh, that is so cute. I love it. I love it. So I made this little guy. Okay, and all it is a double wrap. So I made a loop on one end and wrapped it down, and then I made a loop on the other end and wrapped it over that wrap to where it's double wrapped. Just in case I needed a little bit of space between these, I went ahead and made that up. So let's measure this and see where we are. Okay, so I guess I don't need that little coil anymore. So right now we are at just over 5. So it would be good if we had that little bit of extra space here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this jump ring and I'm going to connect our 3 strands. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to pop him on. Close this up. Close him up real good. Okay, and then this I'm going to jump ring to our seed bead loop for closure. That way I know we've got that wiggle room, we've got that space. We'll pop him on. And this is definitely my favorite bracelet. I'm absolutely loving it. I will probably wear this all the time. All the time. Is that not just so cute? Okay, oops. I'm throwing things around. Okay, so if we pop this on, look at how adorable that is. Oh, nice. Yep, and this fits. Okay, so I pop him on. Well, I don't want to pop him on right now, I guess. Love that. Love, 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 love that. Okay, so we have 5 bracelets. And let's look and see how much or how many beads we still have of the Dollar Bead Box. Okay, so let's go in here. Let's move these to the side. And here is what we still have left. Plenty. I can make so many more things. Someone had sent a message asking me approximately or roughly how many pieces do you think you can make with one Dollar Bead Box? Well, it depends on what those pieces are and how complex those pieces are. However, I've already made a necklace and pair of earrings, and it was a double strand nice necklace. And I have made 5 multi-strand bracelets here. 5. And I still have plenty of beads. And guess what? I still have plenty of ideas. Yep, plenty of ideas. Look at these beauties. Oh, I am super, 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 super happy. So here is the 5 bracelets that we made today. Sorry it went over a little bit, you guys, but oh, do you guys want to see Squirt? What am I doing on time? I'm pretty good on time. You want to see Squirt? Okay, just a sec. I'll bring him in. 1 sec. We're going to be quick, friends, because he is hungry. Look how big he is. This is little Squirt. Look, he looks like a squirrel now. Oh, he's hungry. He's hungry, hungry. You hear him? He's like, where, oh, where? See his tail? Look at all those fur he's getting on his tail. Okay, I feel mean. I need to feed him. Squirt, tell them bye. See, we'll see you again. We'll see you again. Oh, he's a big boy. Oh, he's a big boy. He is so precious. I love him so much. Eyes still closed, but not for long. Until we meet back here, my friends, I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.